Hey, how are you guys doing today? This is Chris Brand. I'm over here at FODAC, Friends of Disabled Adults and Children. I'm here with my awesome partner, Paul, on the crew, and we are going to talk a little bit about the typical things that we get in the manual wheelchair shop that we have to make sure are working properly before we can give them away. So a lot of different parts here. We're going to try to go real fast. So first of all, some of the common things that are smaller that you see in your system, it's really, this will be universal what we're talking about throughout. Really just make sure every adjustment is going to work and there's nothing is sticking, nothing has been bent. You can tell it's all, nothing is missing on the tips, and these are not gonna fall off. Make sure everything is in really good shape before you're ready to go to cleaning it and then trying to match it up and give it away.
They need to have good tread on the bottom, otherwise you increase the chance of slipping as
Right.
you lean on the cane.
Can't be worn out.
In the lobby from the Rotary, Chris Brand.
So this is the same case. You're going to want to make sure all your parts are solid. They're not going to fall apart. Everything is adjustable and moves in and out easily and freely. And these parts are not bent or loose here. And you always want to put a little bit of weight on them and do a little bit of a little test with a little bit of weight on them, moving around some as you're going through that cleaning and testing process before you start wiping it down, once you figure out that it's in good shape. Same thing with your folding walkers. You just have these to push buttons to make them fold up so you can put it in your car easily. These wheels make it really easy to roll along as you're moving with one step to another. And then, like you said, the treads on the bottom need to not be worn out. And so this is all prior to cleaning. I'm just checking mechanical integrity. These chairs can be adjusted for different showers. This is a transfer tub bench instead of one that sits in your tub. And the suctions go inside your tub, your bathtub. And this part can be removed. It's reversible to go in from the other side, so that one side goes inside your tub and this goes on the outer side of your tub. So you can transfer in and face the water this way, or if you have to transfer in and you face the water this way, this can be removed to this side. Same thing on pediatric equipment. It's just similar to a regular walker. You just want to be sure that there are no loose parts on there, or that they do adjust, they haven't been bent, and that all the parts are working and not too worn out. And then wheelchairs, we've got some things to look out for. One is anything that's been overly worn or stretched, like this upholstery here is really on the borderline of ability to reuse for a next person getting this chair. You can see that these need to be replaced, because anything that's going to touch the skin on someone's body that they're going to rest on cannot be cracked at all. Same thing with plastic on these the shower chairs. If there's any plastic cushions that are broken or frayed, we cannot give those out again. They must be replaced or disposed of. And a lot of different adjustment parts on these chairs that you can slide open to transfer in and out easily. They have, of course, the brakes here, which we're going to see on the others as well. And another real important thing as far as when you get ready to distribute that, which we're not going to cover everything, but you don't want people walking in between these footrests, trying to walk in with a very difficult, hard to walk, holding on to someone else or a walker and trying to navigate around these to sit down. You want to definitely get them out of your way with just a touch of a little button here and put the brakes on always whenever you get up or get down out of these things. That's just a safety thing we don't want to forget to tell you. So your customer's coming in, you slide this in and let them put their foot there. You slide this back, you feel it lock, and the foot goes there. Then you can unlock. And then, just like we know when we go to get them in the car, this has to all be working smoothly to fold. So the chair grabs in the middle. You grab in the middle of this upholstery to fold it up to get it in your car or anywhere you need to fold it up and store it until later. So the chairs can't be loose on any of these hinges or anything. They need to be kind of cleaned in this open position, and then wipe down completely at the very end of the ride there. So mention some of those armrests. These are for your different arm height. So if you're sitting at a table and you need to rest your elbows, you can raise or lower this to a different height and get that done. So for resting while you're eating or working at a table for your elbows. These are elevated leg rests, so they support your calf and your leg if you really have no ability to support your own leg weight. This is going to do that for you. It's also going to help elevate that for people for circulation reasons. And then you just have to go through and make sure it's all working really well. You raise it manually, you push this little button and it goes down, and they swing in and out just like regular leg rests. And Paul was pointing this out to me a little while ago. This is for folks who don't have a lot of strength to take the brakes on and off themselves, that are in the low brakes, are a little bit harder to push. This gives you a lot more leverage to do the brakes yourself. And you see these brakes need to be adjusted really. They're a little too loose. So we're gonna address that. And then this is a common item that we give away all the time. These transport chairs are wonderful for going in your car. You can pick up in the middle, fold up, and go right in your car. Put the brakes on. But you can see that this wheel is a little loose. It might need to be tightened before we let it go. We're going to check that out. And the brakes need to make sure that they're working properly. And when you want to put it in your car, you can also super collapse it with these buttons right here. Pull back on. Now that's going to go really collapse really tight to go in the back of a small trunk or small SUV. And you can take, of course, these leg rests off and make it even smaller of a footprint to get it in your car.
Yeah, generally we want to take the leg rests off when we're transporting it.
Exactly.
Take the leg rests, remove them from the chair.
Exactly.
And place them in.
So they don't swing into anything while you're trying to lift them and get stuck. And can you go over a couple of these things and what we do when we're going to wipe these things down and clean them?
Okay, yeah, what we use is Pro Q256. It's germicide detergent. It kills, let's see.
Kills everything.
Kills
right?
everything.
Yeah.
So
It's a cleaner, disinfectant, deodorizes, and it's just it goes into so many ounces per water into that one, right? That bottle right there.
So we always label the bottle so we know what it is.
Right. And if you have some things that need a little extra care, I know this is a great help, and so is WD-40 and some of those small little scrubbing tools for getting into some tight areas like that, or little brushes like car detail brushes from Home Depot or anything.
Toothbrushes, anything.
And you're going to want to have your gloves on, of course, the whole time you're handling these at any time if they haven't been cleaned. Your goggles to make sure you don't get that spray on you. And like the WD-40 again really helps things that have maybe not been cleaned or stuck a little bit.
Good for everything.
Right, great for everything.
This steel wool we use, if anything has a little light rust, we just can scrape it out.
Takes it right off.
And the product cleans it right up.
Right.
I always use clean towels and be thorough as possible when cleaning.
Right. And exactly. And so we would wipe every part of this down, because when you go to pick up an item and put it in your car, you're grabbing everywhere on there to pick up an item and turn it sideways in your car. So we want to make sure that the whole chair has been cleaned. We'll flip it upside down. Of course, ours goes through a big hub scrub cleaner, but if it were not, it didn't have that first layer of cleaning done, we would lay it down, wipe the whole thing down on a table, something easy to get access to with that spray and the wipes. It has to stay on there for about a minute before we wipe it down. You have to follow the instructions on the label of the bottle. And then later on, we're going to talk about the weight capacity of all these things. You can't give a shower chair or a walker or a wheelchair for people over a certain weight limit. So that can be 250 per item. Per item is the common break in weight. If someone's over 250, then we need to review that with us or the manufacturer. And if they're any heavier than that, some of these chairs are made for those folks at that weight.
Yeah, that's when we get into bariatric items.
Exactly, get into more bariatric. All right, well, thank you so much for your time.